You're listening to an Airwave Media Podcast.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, bit to get 30, bit to get 20, 20, 20, bit to get 20, 20, bit to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
Hey, y'all. Okay, before we jump in, just a heads up, we are on our summer break that we take every year.
So this week we're treating your ears to a rerun of one of our favorite Patreon episodes from 2023. After we finished our Dagmar of Denmark series, we did a deep dive into the life of her daughter, Olga Alexandrovna.
Yes, and if you haven't listened to Dagmar's episodes or don't know a whole lot about Russian Revolution, this might be a little over your head. So, hey, Nathan, should we link to those episodes in the show notes?
Yes, we should. Absolutely.
This episode's got glitz, glamour, Russian Revolution, royal family drama. Y'all are gonna love it.
So while we're recharging our batteries, enjoy this Patreon throwback. And if you like what you hear, come and check us out on our Patreon.
Enjoy the show. Cheers, bitches. Hello, Nathan.
Hey, Katie. How's it going?
Pretty good. It's always going good when I'm talking to you.
Oh, I love this for me.
So, who are we going to talk about today, Nathan?
We just got through with our Dagmar of Denmark episode. Yes. We decided to cover her daughter, Olga.
It's her youngest daughter, right? She had two daughters, and it's the youngest one, right? Okay.
The baby girl.
And I think this is going to be a little bit of like Nathan's story time, because Nathan, I see you did a lot of research on her, and I can't wait to hear what all you found out.
Yeah, there were several rabbit holes.
Rabbit holes within a rabbit hole?
Yeah, and there's plenty of stuff that we can talk about. And I'm glad that we're playing this for our Patreon supporters like right after the Dagmar of Denmark episode. Because it's definitely going to give you a good idea of what's going on.
So it's not like a 101. This episode has prerequisites.
Yes, it has a little bit of prerequisites because we're going to skim over some stuff. So if you haven't listened to the Dagmar of Denmark episode, go listen to that because that will definitely help give you a lot of context about what's going on around here.
Awesome.
So, who was she? So she's the youngest daughter of Dagmar of Denmark. So she was one of the last remaining Romanovs after a brutal revolution. Her older brother, Nicholas II, was the last Tsar of Russia.
Wah, wah.
And his wife, Alexandra, well, if you didn't hear anything about them, spoiler alert, it didn't go well. So Olga was born June 13th, 1882. So she's a fellow Gemini.
Y'all's birthdays are pretty close because yours is the 15th, right?
Yep. So she's 2 days after. So I looked at like her whole astrology chart and we are pretty similar, obviously. Yeah. She's witty, flexible, very, very social, but also Geminis can be known to be indecisive, nosy, a little bit flitty.
There's this creator on TikTok that just always does things with being like how each zodiac sign reacts to blah blah blah. And I always laugh when they do Gemini. It'll be like how zodiac signs react to getting a text saying plans are canceled or something like that. And it's always like just the phone on the bed and like Gemini's not even there. Yep. I'm like, that's Nathan. Yes.
That's me. That's me. Yep. So let's take a look at her personality a little bit and a little bit about her looks because we know that, mom was a stone cold fox, by the way. So we don't want to like equate women with their looks. Right. Like, let's get that fucking straight.
Right.
But it does reveal a lot about her personality. So she had her father's quote unquote broad features, but she was very elegant and feminine in her movements. So she was thin, a little bony, kind of, I don't want to say homely, but homely looking.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at pictures right now of her and yeah, she looks a lot like her dad. And her dad was he wasn't a bad looking guy, but he definitely married up in the looks department.
Yeah. But that's putting it lightly. Yes. But she looked great in all those fancy clothes, but she actually preferred comfort over fashion. So she was not
she's a lot like her dad.
She's not the Duchess of Devonshire or whatever. Not that type. She's definitely like...
Her dad was the same way. I think if her dad wouldn't have been the son of a czar, I think he would have been happier just being like a farmer or something, And it's...
Yeah.
And it's giving that she very much inherited that gene, that no fuss gene.
Yeah, very, very true. So she's naturally kind of warm and got an open personality, but she's a little more reserved. So she's definitely got that introvert vibe.
Yeah.
It's hard for her to like open up to the everyday person and talk about personal things because she's a royal and she's kind of been taught. She's, like I said, the baby of a family of 5 kids. But in this Russian nobility at this time, it's not necessarily the most posh thing to be Russian nobility. Like, don't get me wrong, they dress in the jewels and they're all beautiful, but people are looking down on it right now.
Yeah, and they're not reading the room well enough. They're like, hey, maybe we should tone down this shit a little bit.
And by reading the room, it's just like simply seeing that there's assassination attempts on the family.
Like all the time.
Yeah, just being like, oh, maybe they don't like us
Maybe
here.
they don't like seeing all of our jewels.
And then so Dagmar, Olga's mom, was like, Olga, you gotta go. You gotta go away from St. Petersburg to keep you safe, right? I don't want you to be around while there's assassination attempts on the family. I gotta get you over to some other location so that you don't get killed, baby girl.
Yeah.
And so she gets sent away like many of our girls do to get an education, but she wasn't sent away to like a whole nother country. She was sent 50 miles away, which is a very long way away back in the day.
Before cars.
Yes, absolutely. But she wasn't sent to like a foreign court having to speak a different language and do all of that. No,
Right.
she was raised by an English nanny named Elizabeth Franklin. So we've seen that whenever like noble children get sent away, they get sent to that fancy court and that nice building, and they have all these alliances that they're generating and getting into. A whole lot of nope.
Now what? That's not Olga's situation?
Nope.
Whole lot of nope.
They lived in a palace, yes. I
Yes.
will give them that. But the nursery conditions that what I was reading, they were basically like, it's worse than what some commoners might have lived in.
Really?
So it's like,
that's
yeah.
surprising. So was it just her, or was it like her sister as well, or just she's the only one sent to Yale Dusty Callus?
No, it was all the kids.
Okay.
Yeah. She's not being raised in the fancy canopy beds, waking at dawn to have fresh berries and cream in the morning. No,
Ooh.
she's sleeping on a hard mattress with the spring sticking in the side of her kidney, eating plain oatmeal every day. Like, there's no warm water to bathe in. So this is not like...
This is not the height of glitz and glamour, it sounds like.
Exactly. So at this point, she kind of feels abandoned. It's my mom sent me 50 miles away to this really shitty nursery where I have to stay. And I think that's where a lot of her resentment towards Dagmar kind of starts, is she's the reason that I was sent away. And then anytime she has to hang out with her mom, she has to act super formal, and she can't talk to her and be warm with her and make that connection. So it's kind of cold.
So the two just don't have this amazing relationship.
No, which is, you know, like Dagmar, in Dagmar's instance, that's like the exact opposite of how she was in public. In public, she was acting like, woo, yay, everything's great. But
I love everybody.
But super cold to her daughter. So she was always, even as a child, she was disappointed when they were like, oh, you have to go hang out with your mom. She's like, oh, I hate this. So
Ooh.
that's the exact opposite. Her relationship with her father.
Oh, good. And I think we kind of touched on that in the episode, that Dagmar was a lot warmer with her sons than her daughters. Sorry if you can hear Bailey barking. I don't know why Steve let them out, but hold on. But no, we kind of touched on that in the main episode about how Dagmar was just a lot closer with her sons than her daughters. And so it's interesting to see it from the perspective of the daughters now. It's like a little less endearing, you know?
Yeah, it is. So you're like, I don't love this.
Yeah.
So Olga is definitely a daddy's girl. She would go on hikes with him. He would bring her and her youngest brother, Michael, with him. He would like tell her all these stories. And there was this one story about this mystical city that was filled with dogs.
I want to go to there.
Yes.
I want to go to the mystical dog city.
Yes, it's just all run by dogs. And there's no wars. There's no wars.
Sign me the fuck up to Peace Dog Island.
Yeah, or Peace Dog Island. So, like, to me, if you take a step back and look at this kind of family dynamic, it honestly sounds like a traditional family to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, because even in a family, as a child, you favor one parent over the other. And back then, the parent could obviously be like, that's my favorite. I don't
That's
like
my
the other ones."
favorite. Oh, Jesus. Talk about childhood trauma. Can you imagine like sitting in a therapist office 20 years later and being like, my mom just walked around openly saying this was her favorite kid, you know?
Yeah, right. It's like, what the fuck, Mom?
I mean, I could talk about it being like, my mom obviously has a favorite child and it's not me, but she never like comes out and says it. Though
Yeah.
me and my siblings are gonna get, for next year for Christmas, me and Jessica are both gonna get not mom's favorite shirts, and Kaz is gonna get one that says mom's favorite.
I love
I
this.
hope mom finds this as funny as we do.
But let's be real. Even as children, you favor one of the parents over the other. Like, for me, it was like I favored one parent over the other. And I was
Yeah.
like, this one's nicer than that one.
I guess it depends on which phase of my childhood we're talking about.
Yes, very,
also.
very true. Very true. Dagmar is more of the disciplinarian. So she's not the cool mom. Sasha Fierce is the cool mom.
Okay.
Yeah, so sorry,
Hates
Sasha.
peasants, loves his kids.
Yes, he does. He does. Hates peasants, loves his kids. But like it's a great picture to kind of paint of him, of like this asshole, but like he's a really good family guy, and he's like a big old bear of a husband. Like,
well, the episode, the Katie's Corner episode that I did on him that we reran on the main feed, that started as I was like, oh, this fucking guy, and then like more I researched him, I was like, he's not a this fucking guy because he was so sweet to his family, but like,
yeah, that was.
I found him to be a really interesting figure, if not one that I agree with his politics on.
Yeah, like there's a lot to disagree with him on, but personally, he's not a bad guy. Like he's actually a really good
He
guy.
didn't cheat on his wife. He was a present father.
Yeah. Sadly, even though this big old bear of a husband's just loving on his kids, there's got to be an obvious assassination attempt. Yeah,
Of course.
So, Katie, give us a quick rundown of the train incident. The
train incident, yes. So we don't know if this was an assassination attempt.
Yeah.
But Sasha Fierce definitely thought it was. That they were on a train going from, I think, Crimea back to St. Petersburg or something like that. And but they were taking like the long route because they wanted to see more of the lands. And something was not up to snuff with the train. The train, I think something on it wasn't quite working right, and they were maybe going way too fast. And anyway, the train went off the tracks, and like 20-something people died. A lot of people were hurt even worse. But Sasha, being like a fucking superhero, like held the metal roof of the train cart up so his family could get out of the train safely.
Ugh, like, okay.
You know, as one does.
This big old bear of a husband. Like, here he is again, just like saving the day.
Superman.
But
he suffered injuries from it.
Yeah, he suffered a lot of injuries, but you really hit on it where it's like, we don't know that it's an assassination attempt, but he thinks it's an assassination attempt. And
he was already paranoid.
He's already
his dad got
paranoid,
assassinated.
and this is whenever he starts instilling into his kids, being like, people are out to get you. Like, you have to watch out. And Olga is fucking 6 years old when this happens. So talk about trauma.
Formative.
Yeah.
And like formative years. So like, I mean, 6 years old, you're barely a person. So pretty much her entire life, she's like, people are out to kill me.
Exactly.
Ugh. Royalty, they're just like us.
Yeah, right.
With a major selection of the looks your kiddos love starting at just $4 in the Walmart app, a new school year means a stylish new them. Who knew? Find skater skirts and Crocs that say, I'm casual but cool. Sparkly sneakers that say, it's my classroom, you're just learning in it. And preppy polos that say, I'm the teacher's pet, even if they're mommy's menace at home. Find their favorite styles starting at just $4 in the app. The Walmart you thought you knew is now new.
Not all meals are created equal. For instance, breakfast has the spicy egg McMuffin for a limited time, and lunch doesn't. McDonald's breakfast comes first. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
So Olga is slumming it in ye old Dusty Castle nursery. Her dad comes, and he's usually coming to visit to like whisk her away somewhere because he's trying to distract her. So it's like, no wonder
From the trauma of everybody trying to kill her and her feeling abandoned.
Yeah, and so it's no wonder he's like the favorite parent, because she sees him as like this savior, taking me away from all of this crazy
And he's the one
stuff.
that's nice to her.
Yeah, and mom's the one that sent me here, and you're the one that comes and visits and saves me from this. But honestly, outside of living in an average nursery, Olga was pretty sheltered. So she was kept away from the public eye. She really wouldn't have known she was all that different from anyone else. She would have known she's royalty, but she wasn't like held on this pedestal like we've seen before.
Like with Elizabeth of York or something like that.
Yes.
Where it's like she's paraded around her entire childhood. Yeah.
Yeah, she was not at all. One of the family's favorite traditions was going on their annual summer trip to Denmark.
Yeah.
And we talked about this a little in our Dagmar episode, but everything in Russia
Dancing in Denmark
was super formal. Like Russia is like, you have to mind your P's and Q's. You have to stand properly. You have to go over
There
here.
was so much protocol that if
Yes.
you broke, it was such a big drama.
Formal. And in Denmark, everyone could let their hair down, like literally. Like let your hair down, relax.
Like literally, it doesn't have to be up in a tight bun.
This trip to Denmark is just like a yearly tradition type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And in the summer of 1894, big old bear daddy, Sasha Fierce, gets sick before their trip to Denmark. And from there on out, like his health just takes a fucking nosedive. A few months later, on November 13th of 1894, her dad passes away. So her, her knight in shining armor type of thing.
Yeah,
like
she was a daddy's girl.
Yeah, she was a daddy's girl. And
So how old would she have been in 1894? If she was 6, what was she, like 12, 13, something like that?
1880. Oh God, your math.
Well, if she was,
She's born in
6 when the
1882, so she would have been 12.
12.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, and what a hard age if you're a daddy's girl to lose your dad.
Yeah,
I mean,
she's like,
to lose any parent.
she's
but
not even
still,
a
like, what
teenager yet. Like,
Yeah.
she's not even a teenager, so she's super duper young.
Yeah.
And then this catapults Olga's oldest brother, Nicholas II, as the new Tsar. And
he did great. He did such a good job.
yeah, sure. And we all live happily ever after the end.
And don't Google it.
So, yes, Tsar Nicholas was extremely handsome. Oh,
He
God,
was
hot
so
Nick.
good-looking.
Hot Nick.
Hot
He's
Nick.
got such a hot neck.
Yeah.
He really didn't know what the hell was going on. I mean, he literally admitted as much to his mother. Like, I don't know what the fuck is going on.
I mean, that's paraphrasing, but basically, he's just like, "Whoa, Mom, this is a big responsibility. I'm not ready for it." And it was like, well, you gotta be.
Yeah. And Olga later in life is like, yeah, he was not ready for this. So
And we were all like, "Yeah, baby,
yeah,
we know." Yeah.
the writing isn't just on the wall. There's like neon flashing lights, sirens, probably even a boat horn. Yeah. Olga was, after this, like, she's keeping behind the scenes. So she's actively starting to work in the political realm. She really didn't step out into the public until she was 18 years old. After the death of
That was kind of normal, right?
Yeah.
Like, coming out.
yeah, which is in the Russian scheme of things, you would get paraded out whenever you were 17, and that got delayed because I think one of her brothers died, and so she had to stay in mourning for another year.
Yeah, I think it was Michael that died kind of early on. Yeah.
So she later recalls having to step out in public for the first time and hating it.
Well, I mean, it sounds like I get the vibe that she's a bit of a tomboy.
Yeah, she's a little bit of a tomboy, and she said, and there's this is not a direct quote, but it's pretty much what she's saying, is she said she felt like a caged animal being put on display for the first time. So it's like, oh, look at this beautiful exotic animal that we took from its habitat in this cage, and it's like, oh, poor thing. Like,
I know. I have to imagine, though, like when I was in college, I worked at, I sold formal wear and wedding dresses for years in college. And every year there was the debutante ball.
ooh.
And And because you and I were not raised in a debutante ball society.
No,
so I didn't even know that in our hometown there were these people that did debutante balls still. And these girls would come and buy like $2,000 wedding dresses to wear to their debutante balls. And I'm like, I remember when I was a senior in high school, like my mom paid $200 for me to get a prom dress, and we had to tell my stepdad it was only $150.
Much less a $2,000 wedding dress.
Know. And then alterations after that as well. And like, I was every year, it was like me biting my fucking tongue, being like, do y'all know the origins of what you're participating in? It was a time when basically it was, this woman is old enough for somebody to put a baby in her. And it really is like these girls come out in white, and it is like cattle, you know, like, oh, which one should I purchase? Which one should I start negotiating for? I know.
And this is...
So this is all a very long way of saying I get why Olga felt that way.
Yeah, she's like, and then now she's feeling like this is my mom's fault because I was locked away, not knowing any better, and now all of a sudden I have to be out in front of people, paraded around like this prize cattle. Which, I mean, okay, baby girl, she needs to give her mom a little bit of credit. I know she doesn't like her, but her mom's trying to keep you from getting killed. So let's get that out of the way. Give her a little bit of a break.
And also, what she's probably not thinking of is that if her dad, Sasha, didn't want them sent off, they wouldn't have been sent off. So It's not 100% mom's fault, but once you have something in your head when you're that age.
Exactly. Yeah. Because to her, it's proof that whenever he came and visited her, he was trying to take her away and take care of her. So I get it. I get how
he's sorry. If he didn't want his kids sent away, they wouldn't have been sent away.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But also, Dagmar's not very inviting to Olga. She treated her like a servant.
That's so interesting because she was so warm with Nicholas, and it seems like in our research, like I never read anything except for from Olga, pretty much, of people being like anything except for Dagmar of Denmark is a sweet woman who loves everybody and just wants everybody to have a good time. So, man, relationships with your parents, am I right?
Oh God, complicated.
Anyway, BetterHelp.
Complicated. Servant mentality, like treating your kid like a servant. Like it's that old school mentality of like, oh, we're just trying to teach her responsibility. But it's at the same time, Dagmar is requiring Olga to like shower her with devotion and love. And it's like, but you're treating me like shit.
But you're treating me like the help.
Yeah, and so there was that dynamic. And she's a teenager. So this doesn't go well.
She doesn't need a reason to hate her mom if she's a teenager.
Yeah, she's in her rebel era, you know, like
yeah.
But either way, she's required to attend these public events, make herself seen, to be carted around of look at this new thing that you can bone and who's gonna buy her.
Yeah.
So basically she's getting carted off to operas and things like that, and noble guys all have their eye on her, namely her cousin.
If you're not screwing your cousin, are you even royalty?
No, absolutely not.
Look, they love fucking a cousin in this royalty thing.
And buckle up, Buttercup, because this cousin is 14 years older than her. Odd thing is, he's been a lifelong bachelor.
Like George Clooney before he met his wife.
Except, like, there's a picture in the notes, but this guy, he's not a bad-looking dude.
Oh.
So you're thinking as a commoner or as even a royal member being like, he's really handsome. There's nothing really wrong with him. Why is he a bachelor?
Why is he a lifelong bachelor?
Girls, because he's gay.
Because he likes to bump butts with the dudes. He likes a Y chromosome up in his business. Did I do that right? Did I science right? Is it Y chromosomes that men have that women don't have? Okay.
You did. Oh, gosh. And so I'm sure there's ladies that have tried to tap that or like hit on him. And, you know, he's a noble, but he's like turning his nose up and not having anything to do with it. So, you know, it's showing to
I do kind of feel like if this picture could talk, though, it would be like, honey, what are you doing? You know, like
Yeah, he does. He does. Look
Don't post that. I look horrible.
Yeah, he would totally say that.
Sorry, that was super offensive. My bad.
No, but he would have. He had a bad habit of gambling, drinking, and you know, getting a little too close to the men every now and then. And his
that's such a I feel like it's only the rich people, and so many rich people, or like from rich families that we talk about on this show, that get in trouble with gambling.
Yeah, it was that time frame though. Like there was like this.
Because remember, Georgiana Cavendish had a horrible gambling problem.
Yep.
Do you like gambling?
No, I went on a cruise ship and there was a casino in there, and there were people there that would play the entire time that you're on the boat. And I went in there and I would just pass through. And then one time I just sat down and I sat at a slot machine and I put my card in and I pressed the button and it started beeping and beeping and beeping. And I was like, oh, great, I won. And a lady came and sat next to me and was like, oh, keep going. And I pushed it again and then I won again and I pushed it again and I won again. I took $20 and made it into $150.
I could see how that could be addicting for some people.
And then I stopped. And then the lady was like, no, you've got to keep going. I was like, no.
My brother-in-law loves blackjack. And so like, you know, at Christmas, like after family stuff at Christmas, he'll usually break out the blackjack. Everyone in the family will maybe put in like $50. And that's kind of the only time I gamble. I just don't have that gene.
No,
in
me neither.
You know?
I like the $50 that I have in my pocket. Thank you.
I'm just also not competitive. I think it also is like, comes with, it's a competition thing too.
Totally.
And like, I don't ever care that I lose because I'm always the first one to lose blackjack because it's a.
And Katie, no, you've always been that way. When you lose a game, you're like, oh well, bye.
And he's like, but you lost, and I'm like, it's made up. It's not real, buddy. Anyway, so this cousin would have hated playing blackjack.
Yes, he would have. And his parents thought, like, obviously their child is out drinking, gambling. They treat him very much like he's lazy and you're a good for nothing type of thing. So it was very toxic.
Make us some grandchildren.
So basically he just leans into the bad behavior. Like they're pointing it out and he's like, yeah, I'm going to be that garbage monster. Who cares?
Okay, well, if everybody, if everyone says my whole life that I'm a piece of shit, I'm just going to be a piece of shit.
Well,
prove them right.
Randomly one day he's escorting Olga to the opera and he just proposes just out of nowhere. Like there's not been any...
They hadn't done any like courting or anything?
No, it was like she was thinking like, oh, cool, I'm just hanging out with my cousin. He's gay. Well, she didn't know that. So let me say that. Just one thing
she's so sheltered that she probably doesn't know what gay is.
She doesn't know what that is. But he proposes to her and she has the most epic response ever. She says, thank you.
Oh, she's so shocked.
He's like, will you marry me? And she's like, thank you.
Thank you. He's like, is that a yes? Like, what?
Yeah, again.
What does that mean?
Writing is not just on the wall. It's a big old boat horn. Yeah, it is just loud. But even her mom, Dagmar, was shocked. Like, she was like, where did this come from? She wrote to Tsar Nicholas. She was like, they seem to be happy, but it just happened so quickly that she just ended up agreeing to this proposal. And Nicholas writes back his mom, Dagmar, and he was like, oh my God, OMG, ha ha ha, LOLs. Were they both drunk? Like, he literally asked that and says that in the letter. He's like, wait, were they both drunk? And he said, when we read the letter, we couldn't stop laughing. So literally he was like, LOLs, were they drunk?
Were they drunk? I love that. There's not a lot of things that Tsar Nicholas II has done that I'm like, relatable. Okay, but had they been drinking?
Yeah.
Do we know?
No, she was not.
I mean, thank you sounds like a drunk answer.
Yes, it does.
Will you marry me? Thanks. You too, buddy.
Yep, that very likely. No facts, just vibes. So let's talk about their wedding. So of course, as with any...
Let me guess, it was a small affair, a small understated event.
Yep, it was. Yep, no, wrong.
Wrong.
She was decked out. So I think I read that her wedding dress was 50,000 rubles, which Olga wrote back to her family and was like, that's the cost of 4 cows, which is excessive. Like, that's a lot.
I don't know the conversion. 50,000 rubles, I wonder. And then the cost of 4 cows. I'm even more lost than I was to begin with. That did not give me any clarity. I don't know how much cows cost in pre-revolution Russia. I'm assuming from the context clues, I'm assuming this is all a lie.
I got the response that I wanted. That is exactly why I put this in here. A cow would have cost about $17,000. Yes, it was a lot of money. 50,000 rubles at the time is a lot of money to a normal person. That is a shitload. And if that wedding dress wasn't enough, she's now dripping in jewels a la guanza, and that is 339,400 rubles worth of jewels. So that's right. She had on the equivalent of 27 cows worth of jewelry. That's a lot of cheese.
Can we just, moving forward, always when we talk about like someone's dowry, it'd be like it was 200 cows. Or like it was like how much a war cost, it was 700 cows.
Alicia. I mean, that's what they sold women for anyway. So let's imagine her wedding night with a gay man.
Mm-hmm. When she has no experience with men, she doesn't know what gay is. Yeah.
He has no experience with women. So I think she knew what sex was. So she's expecting to go to Bone Zone. But Peter was like, ew, vagina.
Yeah.
Direct quote. He would rather go and gamble with his buddies, and I put that
You can't see the air quotes, yeah.
He'd rather go out with his buddies and get drunk, so that's exactly what he did. And he left poor Olga all alone on her wedding night, and she cried and cried and cried.
Of course she did.
I know. I thought this makes me feel so bad for her because she had like this idea of what her wedding night was going to be like, and
of course,
it was not that at all. He wasn't even there. Yeah. He didn't even talk to her. He just left.
Completely neglected her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he returns the next day, and he's hungover as fuck.
Yeah.
But.
Make your next move with American Express Business Platinum. Enjoy complimentary access to the American Express Global Lounge Collection. And with a welcome offer of 150,000 points after you spend $20,000 on purchases on the card within your first 3 months of membership, your business can soar to new heights. Terms apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/business-platinum. Amex Business Platinum. Built for business by American Express.
Hey, it's Paris. You know I love sparkly things, right? Like stars. Duh. And thanks to Hilton and AutoCamp, I just slept under them. Picture me, serving looks by the fire outside my luxurious Airstream, making s'mores with the kids, while a national park is our backdrop. The great outdoors meets Hilton hospitality. That's hot. Explore all the new ways to stay at Hilton.com. Hilton for the stay.
But outwardly, Peter is like showering her with jewels and gifts, but behind closed doors, it's a little completely different.
Well, so that people don't have any reason to gossip, because all they're seeing is a devoted husband. Like, oh, he changed his bachelor ways around. But once there's not an audience, she's lonely.
Yep. Peter doesn't hang out with her at all when they're at home. He's always around his officer friends. Big quotes.
Big air quotes.
Yep. So Olga feels isolated, and it's so bad, Katie, that they had separate bedrooms that were at the opposite ends of their 200-room home.
So, like, they didn't have to see each other for months if they didn't.
Yeah.
If he wanted to avoid her, he had a lot of space to do it in.
Yep. And people are starting to gossip, and it is just getting to Olga because she had this vision of this marriage and how everything was going to go. And...
Well, because her parents loved each other. Her
Yep.
parents were a love match. And so she just assumed that's how marriage was.
Yep.
And if no one prepared you for this isn't always the case, of course you're going to be super depressed and disappointed.
Yep.
And be like, why doesn't my husband love me? Husbands love their wives. And then she also sees her brother Nicholas, who adores his wife too, however ill-fated that's going to be. And so she just knows all these couples that are very affectionate. And so, I hate that.
Yeah. And she falls into like this super deep depression.
I'm sure.
It's so bad that she starts losing her hair.
Oh my God.
She has to wear wigs, like, just to get by, because she would be like the laughing stock if they saw, what she looked like. So,
and I'm sure people are also asking her, because people still do it now. It's so insensitive. Like, when are y'all going to have kids? When are y'all going to have kids? And she's like, well, if my husband won't touch me,
Yeah.
It's going to be pretty hard for me to have kids. Because, like, even now, I feel like it's almost like speaking to the woman. When are you going to get pregnant? Why can't you get pregnant? And it's like, well, because my husband won't put his penis in me.
That might be a big glaring issue that needs to happen.
Until I can get pregnant by thoughts and prayers and vibes, it's not gonna happen.
So at this point, like, I have to feel as though Olga realizes that she's suffering from depression, but so she has to feel like she needs to contribute and to do something to pull herself out of that. So she funds a local hospital at the Ramon Palace out of her own pocket. And I mean, well, technically she's a royal, so she's probably getting money from
the taxpayer dollars.
But whatever. She ended up learning basic medical treatment and would help the needy.
Oh.
So again, taking a little bit from Mom's book there. Even though you hate on her.
Mom was a registered nurse.
Mm-hmm. And her and husband Peter would go on walks there, and they seem to have shared moments together. They weren't romantic moments, but they did share some sort of platonic relationship at that point of being able to deal with each other, but that's not great. That's not great.
It's not great.
You don't want your partner to be your just your friend. You want them to be your friend and lover. Like,
and
that's what makes a partner different than a friend.
You want to get railed from time to time. Yeah.
Yes.
Your fuck buddy who is on your health insurance. Yes.
And luckily, like, she also lives close to some of her family, and she can kind of distract herself with that. So she would go and visit them sometimes, namely Tsar Nicholas and wife Alexandra. Olga and Nicholas actually started to develop a relationship at this point. They never really had that whenever they were kids.
Well, he would have been so much older than her too, right? Like, he was at least 10 years older than her or something. Yeah.
So this is at least one little bright spot in this dark Russian abyss. Olga and Alexandra were friends, like, by all means. But Olga did notice that there was something a little bit off about Alexandra. She was like, she's pretty shy, she's reserved. And you know what? I can kind of relate to that. She recognized, like, man, Alexandra just really does not like socializing. She really doesn't like going out to parties. And girl, they're parties that are thrown for you.
For you.
And you are not showing up to them. So Olga is recognizing this, and she starts taking it upon herself. And she wanted to ease Alexandra into that social life. So she would travel with her from their homes. They would go to St. Petersburg.
Oh, that's nice.
She would join them at the official state parties. And, like, I can just imagine her, like, they're all standing in a room, and she'd, like, elbow Alexandra to go talk to one of the people over there. Like, hey, go over there. Go talk to them. And her doing it. So I think that shows you the level of trust that Olga was able to gain with the Tsar and Alexandra. So that shows you what type of a person she is. Like, she's a nice person. She sees, like, she struggles with the same social anxieties that I may have. Let me try and help her with this situation. And instead of, like, bad-mouthing her and not talking about her and being rude to her, I'm going to try and help her.
I love it.
Yeah. So she really earned that trust, and I love that little character arc for her. It's so great.
I do too.
So great. In 1903, Olga's brother introduced her to a man named Nikolai Kulikovsky. And boy, howdy, there were some sparks of flying.
She meets a straight man.
She is smitten kitten, and she begs her brother Michael to have Nikolai sit next to her at the next casual dinner. And Michael arranges. Oh, so it wasn't Michael that died. That wasn't.
It was George.
It was
George.
Yeah. Michael arranges this meeting at the casual dinner, and there seems to be some major chemistry. And I think that's where we're going to leave this part 1 of Olga.
Okay.
We'll
I am intrigued. Alrighty.
This is Jen
and Jenny
from Ancient History Fangirl, and we're here to tell you about Jenny's scorching historical romantasy based on Alaric of the Visigoths, Enemy of My Dreams. Amanda Boucher, best-selling author of the Kingmaker Chronicle, says, Quote, "This book has everything: high-stakes action, grit, ferocity, and blazing passion. Julia and Alaric are colliding storms against a backdrop of the brutal dangers of ancient Rome. They'll do anything to carve their piece out of this treacherous world and not just survive, but rule."
Enemy of My Dreams is available wherever books are sold.